So guys, I believe like I have explained the basic architecture, like what exactly happens in the organization in my demo. However, like I'll just go through that architecture again, so that there are people, few people who missed out on the demo, so like they will be having an idea about it. Oh well, one more thing, guys, like could you please ping your details in the chat box? I'm so sorry, like I forgot to ask everybody. Just ping your email address and your name, your full name, your email address, and your contact number in the chat box, so the admin will have your details. Please don't forget. All right. So let's say, for example, I'm taking Starbucks as an example, right? So Starbucks is existing globally, like it has their own outlets or own branches, like in many cities globally, right? For example, this is one of the outlet, this is one of the outlet, this is one outlet, and this is one outlet, right? So let's say, for example, these were the Starbucks outlets existing globally. So now let's say this is in India, and this is in US, Australia, let's say UK, right? So these are the outlets existing globally, right? So Starbucks will open their outlets according to this to their time zones, like because India will run on one time zone, US has a different time zone, Australia has a different time zone, and UK has a different time zone, right? So according to their time zones, they will run their business. So the moment they run their business, automatically new data gets generated on daily basis. Every day or for every single transaction, a new data will be generated. The data could be anything. It could be a transactional data, or it could be data related to the products. It could be a data related to the stores, anything. It could be a data related to the employees, right? So a lot of data gets generated. And now let's say, like, these are the databases. These are the databases associated to each and every country. So for example, once the business has generated in Starbucks in India region, so automatically the data gets stored in this particular database as a raw data. Similarly for the US, similarly for the Australia, similarly for the UK. So over here, the data will be stored as a raw data in these sources. So this is one of the source for me. This is the another source. This is the another source, and this is the another source, right? So the data will be stored coming from the Indian business and will be stored in the DB, right? So clear until here? Any questions? Right.
So do they have different DBs? Ideally, databases, demographic. Yeah.
I don't say like every organization will like they actually maintain a single DB. It could be an Oracle DB or it could be a SQL server. They'll maintain only a single DB. But technically, yes, like they don't maintain different DBs. But then it's a different sources. That's what I mentioned. Like it's a different source. Like it will have its own IP address. It will have its own IP address.
Yeah.
Different
Got
source.
yeah.
Right. So now I have data, raw data in these sources. Now what I have to do, I have to get this entire data into a single platform. So for that, I will be having some ETL. So ETL is nothing but like extract, transform, and load. So what does this extract mean? We extract the data from all these sources, different sources, okay, and then we transform the data and then load the data into another phase, another next level. So what we do, like with what tools we perform this ETL. So basically what happened till now in the market, before the existence of cloud computing, we were actually doing on premises. So before cloud computing, we were actually doing on-premises. On-premises means like locally you'll be having your own machine, and you'll be installing the required softwares, and you will be doing this entire process. All right. But now the companies are migrating into cloud technologies, right? So the example for on-premises is SSIS, SQL Server Integration Services. With the help of SSIS, we perform ETL, and then we load the data into the next level, right? Now, since the companies are migrating into cloud computing, the best existing tool in the market is Azure Data Factory. So as of now, like Azure Data Factory is one of the leading cloud ETL tools happening in the market right now, and where you have a lot of opportunities with the Azure Data Factory as well. So in this course, I'll be covering Azure Data Factory as well, and along with the Power BI, and along with the basic SQL knowledge, like whatever is required for you to develop one end-to-end project. So clear, people, like what you will be learning from my course?
Yeah.
Perfect. So now, since this is a cloud environment for me, let's say, for example, and I'm keeping this in the cloud, right? So now what I'll be doing, I'll be extracting this data into here, right? So I'll be keeping all these, I'll be extracting the entire raw data. So this is the raw data, right? So I'm extracting the entire raw data to the ETL platform, to this cloud computing platform, and here I'll develop the dimension tables and fact tables. Like I'll be shaping those raw data into a table format, because raw data will not be initial in a table format. So the raw data will be transformed. This is where I'll perform the transformation. The raw data will be transformed into a table formats, and then I load this data into another cube. uh, Let me take another design. Then I will load the data into tabular models, like which is nothing but like 3D cubes. We develop 3D cubes as well. So now let me load the data into tabular models, right? And the example for the tabular models is SSAS. You might have heard about it, like SSAS tabular models. Again, this is an on-premises one. All right. So this will be happening in the cloud. The ETL will be happening in the cloud. And once we develop the tabular models from here, then we will have the Power BI existing. Right. So from here, like you'll be fetching, like the beauty of the Power BI is I can either fetch the data directly from the Azure factory, or else I can directly take the data from the SSAS models as well. But preferably, we always fetch the data from the Azure Data Factory, because we'll be having those dimension tables and fact tables. Like instead of taking the 3D cubical models, we take the direct dimension tables and fact tables, right? So and from there itself in the Power BI, like we do form the data models, and from that data model we develop the reports. That's why we always fetch the data from the Azure Data Factory itself. If we need the existing data models, because the tabular models will have the data model, right? So if we need the data model, then only we'll fetch the data that model from here, or else we always fetch the data from the Azure Data Factory into Power BI, and in Power BI we develop the data models, and from that data model we develop the reports. Any questions till now, people?
I have one question. These tabular models that you're referring to, are these OLAP cubes that you're talking about?
Yes, OLAP cubes. That's what I mentioned, like 3D cubes, OLAP cubes. Let me
Okay,
mention the term.
okay.
OLAP cubes, right? So in Power BI, the entire development will be in on-premises itself. Let's say, for example, you install the Power BI application in your local machine, and you develop the reports. development on premises, but then publishing will be cloud. So whatever the development phase you do, that will be on premises itself. You will be doing in your local machine. You'll be having your own setup of a Power BI application, and you will develop the reports. And once you develop the reports, you will be publishing it into the cloud, right? And that cloud is called as app.powerbi.com. That's a login. Let me show you that. Let me keep it here. So app.powerbi.com is the cloud login where you will be publishing your developed reports and where you will be developing your dashboards. This is the interface where you do that. And to do that, we need to sign in to our Microsoft account. And to get the Microsoft account, like we need to have like a domain-based login or an organizational-based login. For example, since I'm working for a Caterpillar organization, I have my ID as like lakshmi.arikapuri@cat.com. So I can actually log in with this my ID. But then since this is my personal computer, I'm not authorized to do that, right? So you cannot sign in with your personal Gmail account or whatever it is. You need to have a domain email account to get signed into your Microsoft account, and you have to purchase the license for the Power BI as well. But don't worry, like I'll be providing you these login details. Like I'll be giving out the login credentials for you people to practice on in the cloud environment for the publishing, right? Understood, people? Any questions?
Yeah.
Hello.
Good, good, Narayana.
Good afternoon, right? All right. Any other questions, people? You understood like what you will be learning and what you will be developing?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I have a small question regarding
Yes.
Azure Data Factory.
Uh-huh.
Did we cover introductory part in Azure as well?
No. That's what like I'll be teaching you the SQL basic SQL, right? And then I'll teach you like how we do the ETL process in the Azure Data Factory. Like how we fetch the data from the multiple sources, how we perform the transformations, how we develop the pipelines, and how we load to the target. I'll be teaching you all those things. So
Okay, that means including all these. Yes, yes, all these services are already available in Power BI, right?
from the Azure you're talking about?
No, no, no. Power BI.
Sorry, I didn't
It's
get your
already
question, Vicky.
just you're talking about all these services or pipeline are already available in Power BI, right now?
For the ETL you're talking?
Yes, yes, yes.
No, no.
Like what pipelines? Like Power BI doesn't support any kind of pipelines.
No, no, I think his question is like all these components are available already in Power BI, or do we need to have separate tool installed for this? I think.
Oh, okay, no. This is different phase. Azure Data Factory is completely different, and Power BI is completely different.
Okay, okay.
So you will be doing the ETL development here, and you will be doing the report development in Power BI. ETL development in Azure Data Factory, and like report development in Power BI tool.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, so like it's a data factory. What happens in a factory? Like you get a raw materials, and you manufacture some products, right, to do your business. The same thing, like you get the raw data from the different sources, and you manufacture those different that raw data into some tables, and you give those tables for the next phase, like which is to OLAP cubes or to the report development or any other access. That's what you do in Azure Data Factory. So this is a cloud again. Azure Data Factory is a cloud login again, and Power BI is a desktop application, and app.powerbi.com is a cloud login again. It's a web login again. Okay. So
Okay.
with this course, like what actually you can do, you can either go as a BI developer, mentioning that you have knowledge on Power BI development and ETL development as well, or else like you can solely go as a ETL developer itself, where you can mention like you have a development in ETL as well. So you can start like like you'll be having multiple opportunities once you learn Azure Data Factory and Power BI as well. Either ways, you can go as an ETL developer, or you can go as a BI developer. And the best part is that like once you learn the Azure Data Factory, like once you learn the key concepts behind this ETL, learning SSIS is not a big issue again. Hardly it will take a week or 10 days for you people to learn SSIS. It's just an interface change, but the concept is same. It's just an interface change. And about the Power BI, like once you learn the concepts about the business intelligence, you can learn any other BI tool. You can learn Tableau within a week or 10 days time. It's just an interface change again. The concept is same, but then it's just a tool change. You need to learn, okay, fine, these were the options available in Tableau, these were the options available in Power BI, right? So you can learn multiple technologies once you learn the concept behind the business intelligence and the concept behind the ETL. So I'll be teaching you that the core concept behind the ETL process, and for that concepts I'll be utilizing Azure Data Factory, and I'll be teaching you the core concepts behind the business intelligence, and for that you'll be learning Power BI. And it's up to you guys, like once you finish this course, again, like if you want to learn more technologies, you can learn SSIS, you can learn Snowflake computing under ETL part, and under BI development, like you can learn ClickSense, ClickView, or Tableau, or any other business intelligence tool. It's up to you people. It doesn't take much time for you guys to learn once you're strong in the basics about the concepts for the ETL and Power BI. Any questions, people?
I have one question. So when we get the data, like when we use a DB to get the data and we use ETL, like in this course, will we be covering the data modeling aspect of it as well, like schema design and
So we don't do data modeling here. Data modeling will be done in the tabular models, but then in Power BI we have a concept called as data modeling, like forming the relations between the tables.
okay.
So in Power BI I'll cover data modeling.
Okay.
Yeah. Any questions?
So in Power BI we have ETL tool, right? Already this like Power Query, I heard
Yes,
that.
in
So
Power BI
what
itself, we
the
have a
difference?
basic ETL tool which is called as Power Query Editor.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
So
basic.
go ahead.
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead. You please go ahead.
I was trying to understand, like, is it mandatory to learn this ETL because whatever you mentioned is on-premises is Azure Data Factory. So, or
Right.
is it okay to go with the Power Query?
Okay, I'll explain you the difference between the ETL happening in Power BI and the ETL over here. So in here, like in Azure Data Factory, what you will do, you'll take the raw data and you will form the dimension tables and fact tables. Like you'll form a table structures in the Azure Data Factory, right? But then in Power BI, already you have to fetch, like in Power BI, you have to fetch only the tables. You cannot fetch the raw data. You cannot fetch the data directly from here.
Okay.
Okay, but then like once you fetch the dimension tables and fact tables or whatever the tables required for your business requirement, so if you have to, like if you feel like, okay fine, like this particular data is not clean for me, or I have to reshape these tables, or I have to make some changes to the existing dimension tables or fact tables, then you will do the ETL in Power BI, in Power Query Editor. So Power Query Editor is not a traditional ETL tool. It's just a support ETL tool to develop your, or to make some changes, or to make some enhancements to the existing dimension tables and fact tables.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Any other questions? Shall I move forward? Guys, I actually try to maintain the sessions in a like what we say, in a talkative manner, in an interaction manner. So like when I ask any questions, I need at least response of one person so that I know like I can move to the next step.
Jay, you can go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. Perfect. So everybody clear like what you will be learning? You will be learning basic SQL, Azure Data Factory, and Power BI. So initially, like we'll start our training with Power BI. The reason why I want to train people initially on Power BI because as of now, Power BI has a lot of boom and you're getting a lot of calls. And I'm hearing from some people like, sir, we don't have any calls for Power BI, but it's not true. You have a lot of calls for Power BI. I'm seeing people like even in my organization, I have like, come on, like 6 requirements for Power BI developers. Only they were looking for SQL and Power BI, right? So first I'll be teaching you with the Power BI, and once you feel like yes you are done with you're fine with Power BI and you're ready, yes I can go ahead and give my interviews, then let me know. I'll prepare your resume. And we'll post it in the different job portals website. And once you start getting calls again, parallelly I'll start training you on ADF, Azure Data Factory, right? So depending on the calls you get, or let's say like still if you are not getting any calls, then we will mention the ADF in your job portal. Or else if you feel like this is uncomfortable for me, first we'll be learning Power BI and then I'll be teaching you ADF. And then once you're done with the entire course and once you feel like yes I'm strong in end-to-end project development, then you can go for this phase. I'm giving you 2 opportunities, like because everyone has their own requirement. I cannot fix for a standard requirement, right? So either ways we can do. It's up to you people, like how you take the decision. So initially I'll be teaching you Power BI. So once the Power BI is done, I'll move on to the ADF. Clear people?
Yes.
Perfect. One moment. All right. So now, what are the tools we require to proceed further with the Power BI? We need to install 2 tools. First one is Power BI desktop application, which is free of cost, or we call it as like open source. And the next one is SSMS, which is SQL Server Management Studio, which is again a free source. And the next one is Adventure Data Works Warehouse, which is a free of cost again, like which is an open source. So these were the 3 things you require to start learning the Power BI applications, right? So now let's go ahead and check like how we can install the Power BI application. Just go to Google, type in like Power BI desktop. Just type in like Power BI desktop download and click on the first link, which is downloads, which is from powerbi.microsoft.com, right? So once you scroll down, the first one will be the Microsoft Power BI desktop. So this is the thing, right? And immediately you'll find 2 options, download and advanced download options. Never click on download. Don't go to download directly. Just go to download, advanced download options. Scroll down, check these details, check these system requirements, right? So details, you'll be having the version number and you'll be having what were the files available and what are the file size available and the date published as well. This will be your interview question. Like few people, if they want to test your knowledge like in depth, they will ask you like where you will find your version number. You'll find under the download page of the Power BI desktop or else under the Power BI desktop application itself. Okay, so every month what Microsoft will do is like Microsoft will release a new version of Power BI. Like every month you'll be getting a new update for your application, right? So every month this version will be keep on changing, and the latest update was happened yesterday. It was on 23rd November. 23rd November, this version was released, and few people will ask what is the current version you're working on. They'll expect this answer like 2.99.78, 2.0. It's up to you, like if you can remember the version or not, but you can hardly mention like 2.9, and that's like this could be fine, right? And then if to like to update your Power BI desktop application or to the latest version, there is no option to update. All you need to do is like you have to uninstall the existing application and reinstall the updated application. That's the only way where you can update your Power BI application. Even this could be your interview question. People will ask this type of question like, how will you update to your Power BI desktop application? You have to say like, I have to install the I'll be uninstalling the latest whatever the version I'm currently working on, and once I've uninstalled the application, then I'll download the latest version and I'll reinstall the application. That's the only way where you can update to your Power BI desktop. Clear? And then you have your system requirements here. Just go through. If you have any questions, and then click on download. Once you click on download, you'll be given two options, which is Power BI Desktop Setup 64 version and Power BI Desktop Setup .exe. If you have no knowledge about the 64-bit or 32-bit, go to system requirements. Microsoft Power BI Desktop is available for 32-bit, which is x86, and 64-bit x64, right? So if your operating system is a 64-bit operating system, then you have to download the x64 version. If it is a 32-bit operating system, you have to download 86 version. And how to know like which operating system I'm using right now? Just go to my PC, right click on properties. You'll be having a system type 64-bit operating system, x64 based processor. Check this one and then download the version accordingly. If you're using a 32-bit operating system and if you're downloading a 64-bit, then it doesn't work for you, right? Just click on this, click on next. The download gets started, and once you have this download, it's just a normal software installation. Like just you have to open the tool and click on next, and Power BI desktop application will be installed. Power BI is this installation is pretty simple. Doesn't take much time. Hardly it will take like 2 or 3 minutes or less than 5 minutes to install Power BI application. Clear? With installing Power BI, like will you be able to do it on your own, guys? Or does anybody want me to re-explain or explain it again?
No, it's pretty clear. I think we can do it.
Clear, right? Simple. Just go to Google, click on Power BI desktop download, come to the website, Microsoft website, come to the advanced download options. Once you come to advanced download options, you'll have these options, and check your system requirements accordingly and click on download and choose the version accordingly and click on next. The application will be downloaded, and then just go to next, like the normal software installation, like how you install any other software is the same thing, right? So that is the installation about Power BI desktop, and I expect you people to install the Power BI application like right away after this session. And then the next installation is SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. Why we need SSMS is in Power BI we have to connect to a database or a source to fetch the data. So to establish that particular connection, we need an interface, which is nothing but a SQL Server Management Studio. Let me show you that. It's a SQL Server Management Studio 18. I think it's taking a bit more time to load. And guys, please let me know, like if I'm going too fast, like if you're having any kind of difficulty, just please let me know. I'll ensure that like you're not having any problems. So this is the interface for Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio, right? And this is the SQL Server I'll be connecting. This is your server name. This is your server type. This is a database engine. This is your server name, which is desktop-63 VCCRM, and the authentication is like Windows authentication, right? So once you click on connect, so it will be connected and it will show all the DBs available under this particular server, which is desktop-63 VCCRM SQL server. It will show all the databases. So these were all the databases I have, right? And how to do this, like how to get this interface installed on your computer. It's simple. Go to Google, SSMS download, type in as SSMS download, okay? And then click on the first link, download SQL Server Management Studio SSMS. You'll be redirected to this page, download SQL Server Management Studio SSMS. You see here, download SSMS, free download for SQL Server Management Studio 18.0. Just click on it, download will start, right? And then once you have this application downloaded, the .exe file downloaded, just click on next. The how a normal software, like how you install the normal software again. It's pretty easy downloading the SQL Server Management Studio. And once you have downloaded the SQL Server Management Studio, and I'm so sorry, like if anybody has any issues facing about the download, I'll be providing you a YouTube link. In that video, it was clearly explained like how to install the SSMS. I'll be sharing that particular link in the chat group. Please copy that link. And if anybody has any issues or any troubles installing the SQL Server Management Studio, follow that video. Still, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll guide you how to do it. Right? So you have to install the SQL Server Management Studio. And once you have installed the SQL Server Management Studio, now you need to get the Adventure DataWorks warehouse. How I can get the Adventure DataWorks warehouse? Simple again. Adventure DataWorks warehouse download. Just click on this link, the first link. Scroll down. You have a OLTP. This is a raw data file, and this is the dimension data file, like the dimension tables and fact tables, right? So currently we'll be working on 2019 file. Just click on it. You'll be having the .bak file. So once this file is downloaded, you need to come back to your SQL Server Management Studio, and you have to add it here. Like it will be shown. Let me show you. So this is the link where you can actually download Adventure DataWorks and assign it to the SQL Server Management Studio. Like this will hardly take 2 to 3 minutes for you guys to install the Adventure DataWorks, right? So these are the two videos which will help you in installing SQL Server Management Studio and the Adventure DataWorks as well. Clear, people? Any questions? I need a response. Like, you have any questions, or do you want me to explain the installation part once again, like step by step? Would you guys be
No
able
question.
to install? Yes, Rashikar.
No questions. If we'll try to install it, and if anything, then we'll let you know.
Yeah, if you have any, like if anybody has any difficulties, let me know. I'll assign a guy who will take a remote connection, and he would be able to install those things. Or else, like if I have a time, I'll do that myself.
Okay.
Okay, so once we are ready with the Power BI application and like this adventure works data warehouse, we are good to go ahead and start the Power BI learning modules. Before that, I'll be giving you a small assignment today, like a very small assignment. Before you come to the class, I want you to do this thing. Just go to Google. Please follow it carefully, okay? Just go to Google and type in Kaggle, Kaggle. I'm pasting it in the chat box. Just type in Kaggle, okay? Click on the first link. For the first time users, you need to register. It's a free registration process. Right, and once you sign in, you have an options here like home, competitions, datasets, code, discussions, courses, and more. Right, just click on datasets. Click on datasets, and if you scroll down, you'll be having trending datasets, popular datasets, recently viewed datasets, movies and TV shows datasets, clothing and accessories dataset, like whatnot. You'll get everything from this website. You'll get the original data, like it's not a manually created data, or it's not a dummy data. It's a original data you can get from this website. If like let's take your own choice. Let's say for example, I'm interested in the stock market. I can download the stock market data since like 2000 or 1900s, or from where like since the stock market is existing, you can download the data. Like let's say I'm very much interested in cricket. You can download the cricket data. I'm very much interested in retail. You can download the retail data. I'm very much interested in uh, trending data sets like COVID. You can download the COVID data, right? Let's say I'm choosing one data like COVID virus data. You have an option here, download. Click on download. I think it's like, let me check the metadata what it was. Okay, I'm just ignoring this thing. I'll take another data set. Let's say for example, I want IPL data. Yeah, I think I have it here. Yeah, IPL data set, or you can see this one, IPL complete data set since from 2008 to 2020. I'm taking this data set. Click on download. Extract. So you'll be having the CSV files. This is a ball by ball data, like for each and every ball you'll be you'll be having the data, like who is the bowler, who is the batsman, what was the run score, is it a boundary, is it a wicket, if it is a catch, like taken by whom, like who is the umpire, like you'll be having the guys, am I audible now?
Yes, yes. Now you are audible.
Okay, fine. So you'll be having each and every data about the ball to ball information. Like these were the like. So this is the information. You'll be having a detailed data about each and every ball. Like how many rows you have, like 1,93,469 rows of data, right? So this is one of the source. Take this Excel file and you have matches details like on which date which match happened, and which were the teams played, and who is the winner, who is the loser, and what were the results. Like, see, you have everything: ID, city, date, player of the match, venue, neutral venue, who is the team one, who is the team two, who won the toss, what's the toss decision, who is the winner, what is the result, is it on runs or wickets or duckworth lewis or whatever it is, what's the result margin, does that match decides the eliminator, is there any particular duckworth lewis method happened, who is the umpire one and who is the umpire two. Like, you have in detailed information with this data set. Okay, so take these, like, or else like you choose your own. Take any kind of data set, open a Word document. Open a Word document, mention the name of the data set, and the next one, how many files were there. For example, now for this IPL data set, I have 2 files, right? I have 2 CSV files. How many files were there? Name of the files, right? And individually, let's say, for example, the first file is IPL ball by ball 2008 to 2020. Take that file name or file one name, just take it as like number of columns. Just count how many columns you have in this particular Excel sheet. Number of columns, name of the columns, data type of the columns, and possible insights from the data set. Possible insights from the data set means I'm taking this first one. Let me open this one, this file. Yeah. So from this data set, what I can see is like I can actually count how many extra runs, like the total of extra runs for the entire IPL history. I can count the total of extra runs. That is one of the insight. And I can count the total of total runs for the entire IPL history. I can do that. And I can find out every individual score of every batsman. Like, for example, Ricky Ponting. For the Ricky Ponting, I can find out like how many total runs he has scored, right? And then what is like how many innings has happened, and then and I can find out like total runs given by every bowler. Example like for Zahir Khan, like how many runs he has given. Khalis, like how many runs he has given in the entire IPL history. Joshi, how many runs he has given for the entire IPL history, right? So you can find such kind of insights. So just go through this particular data set and see like what were the insights you can find out from this data set. Like can you understand what exactly happening by this data set? So write those insights. So write those insights. I want you at least write 5 to 7 insights. Right. So similarly for file 2, the name of the file, number of columns, name of those columns, and data type of the columns, and what were the possible insights for the data sets, like how many files you have. Do the same thing for all the files, right? This is very, very important, I'm telling you guys, because since you don't have any habituation, or you don't understand, like you never exposed to the data till now, so it's your first step, like okay, how the data will be existing, what were the categories will be there, how the columns will be, like what type of data will be there, and how, like it will be helpful for you to understand data in an easy way. Since you are a BI developer, you will be dealing with data on daily basis. So once you move on as a BI developer, you will be dealing with data on daily basis, and you have to play with data. So I'm trying to habituate for you people to like to understand the data from today itself, right? This will be very helpful, trust me. I've given the same assignment to the previous batch, and none of the people has done the assignment, and now like they face the troubles. I know, like that's why I'm giving you this assignment. I hope like everybody will do this assignment, probably not by tomorrow or by this week. Today is like what, Wednesday, right? Try to do it by Friday, or by next Monday, like whenever you get time, right? So the main agenda of this task is like for you to understand how the data will be look like, how the data will look like. Clear, people? Anybody has any questions about the assignment? Hello? Okay, Ankur. Right. So before I close the session, anybody has any questions, any doubts, anything you want to discuss?
So what is the course duration for this?
As I've told you, Rajshekhar, for the basic SQL and Power BI, it will be 45 hours of session, like 45 working days. And for the ADF, for the Azure Data Factory, I'll be giving out the course content probably by tomorrow or day after tomorrow. By this week, I'll mention the duration and what the things you'll be learning.
Okay.
Yeah.
So regarding fees and all these things, so do we need to
Fees,
contact?
you need to talk with the management. Like I'm not the right person to talk about the fees and everything.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm actually giving 2 options here. Like if you want to learn only Power BI and you want to go with your resume, that is one format. And if you want to learn both Power BI and ADF and go out with your resume, that is the second option available. It's up to you, like how you choose it.
Okay.
So are we good, people? Can I have a response?
Yeah. So will you be like helping in getting the placement, something like that?
Placements in the sense, Rajshekhar. So I actually personally won't deal with any kind of placements, and see what all we can provide is like we can provide an assistance. Like I'll give you a resume, like I'll give you the exact resume what an organization looks for, and I will get your resume posted in the job portals with the right key skills, right? So and
Okay.
if you have any questions, like let's say for example, if HR is asking any particular question, if you don't know the answer for that question, like you can approach us and we'll guide you, like you have to answer in this way.
Okay.
And like once you start taking your interview calls, and if you feel like you don't know this particular question, then you can approach us and you can approach me and I'll guide you like how to answer for those questions as well.
Okay. So you'll be providing like one project, right? Like real-time projects. So how exactly the things goes on with Power
Yes,
BI?
yes.
Okay. So yeah, okay. Okay, fine.
So apart from your daily assignments, like I'll be giving you a real time problem. You have to solve the problem.
Okay.
So real time in the sense like I'm keeping it very clear. I cannot get some organizations data. I cannot get some like companies data, right? So all I can do
Yeah,
is
that,
like I can get you public data.
yeah. Okay.
So I'll
So,
give an access to the public data, and you have to fetch the data and develop the reports and dashboards.
okay. So is it possible like to get the people who's having like a gap of 5 to 6 years, so
Of
they're not
course,
doing anything and they can
of
learn
course,
this
yes.
thing?
You can get people like you can start from 2.5 years gap people.
Okay.
They have gap like 8 years, 9 years. We can manage.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll tell you a secret, like how we can do that. Like like let's say for example, if the person has 8 years of gap, we can mention it like they have like 5 years of experience, and out of those 5 years, like 2 years was into like SQL developer, and the rest 3 years into
Mhm.
Power BI, or else like 4 years into Power BI and 1 year as a SQL developer. Like we can manage it.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Any other questions, people? So shall I close the session if anybody has no questions? Ankur, Manindra, Vinil, Aparna, Rupendra, Vicky.
No, I don't have any questions.
All right, Ankur. All right, Vinil. So can I expect you guys to finish this assignment by this weekend or probably by Monday?
Yeah, we'll do it by this weekend.
Yeah, please do it. This will be very helpful for you guys. Trust me.
Yeah. And for tomorrow, do we have class at the same time?
Yes, the
Or
same time, like 9 to 10. There is no change. There will not be any changes in time. 9 to 10. Please be on time.
yeah. Okay.
So we can also there will be a class, or it's
No,
it's still
no.
Thursday
On
only.
Saturday, Sunday, like you'll not be having any sessions.
Okay. Okay.
You'll be having sessions only from Monday to Friday.
Okay.
See, the reason why I have given 45 hours of training is like there is a major concept in Power BI which is called as DAX. See, I can actually finish off this course within like 20 days or 25 days or below 30 days. The reason why I have mentioned 45 days is there is a concept called as DAX, which like which needs a special uh, assistance and special kind of training for that. So I'll be teaching you that concept in a manner where you'll not feel like DAX is tough for me. Like I'll make it very easy for you. So that's why I'm taking 45 days time. You can find like in the market, like you can ask people, for example, like there might be any other trainers who might train you Power BI in 10 days. Or and surprisingly, I've seen some advertisements in online in social media, like they were advertising like learn Power BI in 4 hours, learn Power BI in 1 hour. Oh my god, I was like shocked, like how they can teach Power BI, entire Power BI in 1 hour, 1 hour, or like in 4 hours, or in a day or in a week. It's not possible. Like you'll not get in and out concepts of Power BI. Power BI has like lot many concepts. You have to learn lot many things in Power BI to survive for your job. So I'm actually concentrating this entire course not only just to finish the course for you guys, but then this course has to help you in your job survival as well. I don't want you to, like, after getting a job, I don't want you to search for again for the people like, hey buddy, like I'm having this issue, how I can solve it. No, you should not require any support. You have to be, work it out in your own manner, in your own way, by your own. So I'm actually planned these sessions, the training in that way. So I'll be taking 45 days to give you in and out of Power BI. So don't feel like, oh my god, I'm investing a lot of time, but it's worth investing that time.
So will you be sharing the recorded sessions for this, or?
Yes, of course, you'll be getting the record sessions.
Okay.
Any other things, people? Shall we meet tomorrow morning, same time, 9 o'clock? Okay. So I'm closing the meeting. Thanks everybody. Thanks Ankur, Manindra, Vinil, Raj, Aparna, Vicky, and Rupendra. I'll see you tomorrow morning, guys, at 9 o'clock. Please be on time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. Thanks everybody. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.